all you successful gamers, and welcome to my walkthrough of Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green. Just to let everyone know, this is being recorded off of the Nintendo Switch and by no means an emulator, so this is going to be all legit with no cheat codes. Now, I would have covered this game long ago, but recording off of an emulator felt too dishonest and too close to illegal for me. But borderline admittedly, who didn't want to relive one of their greatest childhood favorite RPG games ever, right? So, no judgment here to those that just want a trip of nostalgia. But finally, at long last, Nintendo finally gave us Fire Red and Leaf Green on the Switch, and we no longer need to turn to piracy. So real quick, before we begin our journey to becoming a Pokemon Master, let me explain what this walkthrough is going to be, while we go ahead and meet Professor Oak and our rival. This is going to be a full commentated 100% walkthrough of the full game. Yes, I said walkthrough, not a playthrough, and certainly not a let's play, but many people don't even know the difference, and that's fine. That being said, certain things will be edited out of my videos. This game can be quite grindy, which can make it quite lengthy, so I'm going to do what I can to shorten it up for everybody. An example of this would be editing out trips to the Pokemon Center or Pokemart and inventory and party management. I'll also likely be fast forwarding a lot of grinding. Since this is a walkthrough, I will be talking to you as if you've never played a Pokemon game before, which means I will be over explaining a couple things, because believe it or not, there are still a great number of people that have never played or heard of Pokemon before, and I think I know a few people who might be watching this. So who knows, maybe I got some old heads on the channel watching this after 20 years, maybe you guys just want a refresher on something. Either way, no judgment here. We're all here to enjoy life. We're here for a good time, not a long time. Alright, now, lore-wise, like Pokemon lore-wise, I'm not going to claim to know everything. I don't. In this game, we're either Ash Ketchum or very like Ash Ketchum. Very similar, at least. I say that because if you ever played Pokemon Gold, Silver, Crystal, the hybrid of those two games, you'll come to find out that these guys are called Red and Blue officially in-game, rather than, Ash and Gary, which, they look like. Which is why I named them as that, Red and Blue. Either way, Professor Oak always remains the same. But anyway, back to the game. Just like Ash Ketchum, we are starting off here in Pallet Town, and we're going to be given a choice of starter Pokemon in a second. And we have 3 obtainable options, unlike Ash, who was forced upon a very disrespectful, over-leveled Pikachu, which we will catch soon in the wild, very, very soon, by the way. But make sure you guys come up here to the top left side of your room and grab a potion out of your computer, because we might be needing that very soon. That may or may not save us from failing our very first rival battle, which we're about to do very, very shortly. But welcome to Pallet Town. It's a lot smaller than it is in the anime, isn't it? But, so yeah, let's talk about a couple of things. So I will have in the description of each video of this series the trainers that we battle, the level of their Pokemon, the Pokemon that are available at each location or route that we travel through for the first time. Then on every video, I'll also have the levels and names of my Pokemon as well, and finally a description on each status effect and what they do in the game. I think the way I want to do wild Pokemon fights in this game is either fast forward them or just cut to the last attack that I use to feint whatever creature I'm fighting. Either way, it should save a lot on video time, and I won't ever do it for like first time encounters, but just like, repeat ones. I will be catching and evolving almost every single Pokemon, as well as give, in-depth explanations of when those Pokemon evolve and how. I will also offer some advice or suggestions on beating all the gyms, or you can just, do what I do from the start, but I also encourage you guys to play your own way, use the Pokemon you like and prefer, and just have fun with it. I don't want to say I'll, never lose a battle. I'm fairly certain I won't, but, probably aside from the Elite Four towards the end, but I am not to even lose there as well. I will also be grabbing every item, TM and HM in the game, and that includes hidden items. What I will not be doing is dialogue. There are many NPCs in this game that offer nothing, and I will only be talking to the ones that offer something for us. So, although this is a 100% walkthrough, it is not a cinematic walkthrough. Edits will likely interrupt in-game music and things like that, so now that we were transparent with everyone, and we all know exactly what this walkthrough is going to be, no one will get frustrated halfway through and complain I'm cutting the video too much, etc. So yeah, let's go ahead and walk into the grass here, and Mr. Professor Oak here will give us a choice on our starting Pokemon. In Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green, among the starters are Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and Charmander, in that order from left to right. Now, my starter has already been chosen by you guys, the audience. We did a poll and you guys wanted me to go Charmander, so that's who I will be committing to, but I'm still going to go through all the options here. First up, we have Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur is actually my preferred starter. The reason why is because I don't like many grass types in this game. And also, at the end of the game, you unlock a legendary dog based purely off the direct counter typing to your starter. And my favorite Pokemon ever is Entei, so that's why I usually like to go Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur is a grass type as well as poison and ends up evolving into Venusaur at level 32, the earliest one of the three to reach its final form. Venusaur becomes poison grass type and has very good special moves and specializes in status effects. Squirtle evolves into Blastoise at level 36 and is actually the preferred starter out of the three by many because of the amount of coverages it has. With the right nature and build, this is the only starter actually capable of speedrunning you this whole entire game in 2 hours. Give this thing Ice Beam, Surf, and Bite, and pair it up with some X specials. Get a bit lucky, and you only need just this one Pokemon to beat the whole entire game. And yeah, he's got 2 cannons on his turtle shell. Now, our starter is going to be Charmander. He is a fire type that eventually evolves into a fire flying type. Charmander turns into Charizard at level 36 and is considered by the majority hard mode for the start of the game because of the first 2 badges. They are super effective against Charmander. Misty definitely bullies him, but all 3 starters evolve into their middle form at level 16. And then Venusaur is the only one that doesn't evolve at level 36, but instead at level 32. Now, I'm going to go ahead and save the game just in case we don't get the nature that we want. We can go ahead and just reset. If you guys ever want to reset easily, you guys can press A, B, X, and Y, all 4 buttons at the same time. Be careful that you don't do that randomly because I've been known to do it even myself. I get antsy and I just press a bunch of buttons. But if you press all 4 of those buttons at the same time, your game will reset. You will lose all of your save progress, so be very careful. I'm also going to be nicknaming every single Pokemon based pretty much off impulse. So I'm gonna freaking just impulsively name all the Pokemon just to kind of keep it fun and fresh. I don't know. So now that we have our starter, we can go to our menu and look at our Pokemon. We want to see 2 things. One, we have a 1 out of 5,000 chance that our Pokemon is a shiny Pokemon. Pretty low, huh? Now we want to see about our Pokemon's nature. I'll have all the natures in the description so you guys can see what nature you got and what that means for what your Pokemon is going to specialize in. We got Quiet Nature, which is actually really good for a first try. That means we excel in special attacks and we'll be lacking in speed. So if I go to the stats here, you can see that special attack is my highest, so really, really good. And then right here we have Scratch, which is a physical type of move, and Growl, which lowers enemies' attack stat. Scratch line does 40 power, and our ability Blaze ups fire moves in a pinch. That basically means we do more fire damage when our health is low. So yeah, now that we have chosen our first Pokemon, our rival Blue/Gary will always pick the Pokemon that has a type advantage to ours. So he's going to pick Squirtle. If we beat him, we will always get a free level up. Now, it is possible to lose here, and it happens often. If you are unlucky and he gets, like, I don't know, a back-to-back critical hit on you, or Tail Whips you twice. Tail Whip is a move that does no damage, but it lowers your defense. He can Tail Whip you twice, and then crit you once, and you're a goner. But all of those scenarios are kind of rare, but it has been known to be possible, so you guys might want to make a save. You guys are liking the nature that you got for your Pokemon. We do have that potion that we grabbed in the PC earlier for emergency situations. If we get too low, we can just pop a potion and get back to full health. Yeah, see, so he just hit me with a Tail Whip there. If he hits me with another one and crits me, it's not going to be good, but I have faith. I don't think I've ever gotten a crit on Gary, but he's always critted me once or twice, so we'll see what happens here. Uh-oh. Hopefully he doesn't get a crit now. That would suck. We already have health. Oh, we're good. We won. That's a level up. And you guys can see now, after every fight, we gain experience points, and we level up after a certain amount of experience points, and every time we level up, we gain some stats. That looks like 1 to everything and 2 to max HP. You don't have to worry about healing or using a potion after this fight, by the way, because Professor Oak or the game will always heal you after this fight, so no need to worry about that there. Yay, Professor Oak is proud of me. I whipped his grandson's butt. Alright. And by the way, this is not going to be, kid-friendly. So, I am known to curse, scream profanities every now and again, so hopefully no kids are watching this. If you are, make sure you have your parents' permission. I have kids of my own, and I don't mind, if they watch me, their dad, cursing at a TV or a video. But hey, don't ever want to assume that for someone else's kids. So yeah, this is a YouTube channel, and I do, play a lot of rated M games on here. So just making sure everyone is aware of that. This is a kid's game, so I had to remind everyone. Alright, so Rattata is our first random wild Pokemon. Rattata is a normal Pokemon that evolves into Raticate at level 20. Now, there is one other Pokemon on this route, which I will get to in a second, probably on our way back when we run into him. But I'm just going to go ahead and go up here. This is Viridian City, by the way. It's a very, very short hike to this town. But up here there is a potion in this little path right here. In other Pokemon games before this, in the originals, there's actually a hidden item right here, so you actually couldn't see this Pokeball. You would actually have to come up there and just tap randomly on an empty space, and then boom, you get a hidden item potion. But yeah, there are still hidden items in the game. I'll show you where all of them are. If you got the potion from the PC, this potion, and the potion from talking to that guy right before we get to this town, then you should have 3. But this old guy right here is actually laying here. This is the way that you have to go to progress the game. But he will not let you pass unless you complete Professor Oak's little objective, his little side quest that he gave you. So you actually got to go to the Pokemart right here, little blue roof, and he's going to give you a package for Professor Oak, and we have to go all the way back and actually return it, and then that will get that little old guy up right there, and he'll let us pass. But this building with the red roof is the Pokemon Center. This has a PC in it. Every PC that's in the Pokemon Center is a global, so no matter what you put into it, you can access it from every single PC. So if you want to store your Pokemon or items in here, you can pull your Pokemon or items for any PC. But yeah, just talk to Nurse Joy and she will heal all your Pokemon, at least all the Pokemon in your party. You can have up to 6 Pokemon in your party, so just something for you guys to be aware of. You guys can start planning your team now with your 6 Pokemon. I recommend to make a balanced team, but you guys can do as you like, But I recommend a balanced team. Maybe one of each type. I have made the mistake of wanting to go like a mono type team before, which I have done. I've tried to go mono fire, which is actually really hard because there's a lack of fire Pokemon in a lot of Pokemon games. But hey, we ran into the other Pokemon here and on this route. Like I said, there's only 2 Pokemon on this route, and that's Pidgey and Rattata. Pidgey is a normal flying type Pokemon. It transforms into Pidgeotto at level 18 and Pidgeot at level 36. It's a very famous Pokemon. It's used very widely, very early Pokemon games like Fire Red. People don't actually know that its counterpart, Spearow, which transforms into Fearow, is actually a lot better in the earlier games than Pidgey is, though. It's literally has the move Drill Peck, which is literally the best flying type move in the game, and I think Fearow actually has a higher attack stat than Pidgeot does. That thing was surprisingly the highest level for the route, which is level 5. It gave us enough XP to hit level 7, and we got Ember, which is a fire move. It's actually a special move. Gives us 40 damage and has a chance to burn an enemy, which is a status effect. Makes them take a little bit of fire damage. Scratch is considered a physical move, which goes off our attack stat. And then Ember is a special move, which goes off our special attack stat. So that's why we have 2 different special attack stats right there. physical goes off attack, and special goes off of special attack. I should tell you guys, if you guys ever want like a female starter too, I think the male to female rate is like 85% male and then 15% female. So if you guys actually want a female starter, you're going to be probably doing a lot of resetting. And yeah, it looks like we actually got a burn stress effect. You guys can see the the damage right there. It only does a percentage of health, so in the lower levels it doesn't really do too much. The only good thing about status effects is it does make Pokemon a lot more easily catchable. But like I said, in the early levels it doesn't mean a lot anyway, because the catch rate's already really high. I will not be running from a lot of fights, probably almost any. I'm gonna try to get as much XP as I can, especially since we went Charmander in the early games. XP is kind of crucial to us, so the more XP we get, the better. Since I'm going to be going through all the routes and trying to catch all the Pokemon for you guys, there's a huge chance that I'm going to be a little over leveled in most areas. You guys can feel free to skip as many battles and or trainer fights as you guys want to. You guys don't have to do exactly as I'm doing. But just know that the more battles that you skip, the harder and more challenging it's going to be for you, especially against Misty. But I'm going to try to make every single gym fight as easy as possible for you guys. So, especially against Misty, I'm going to be trying to do every single fight and trainer fight before that fight to get you guys ready for Misty. So, yeah, this isn't going to be, like I said, it's not a let's play. It's not a playthrough. I'm not going to be making it as hard as possible for myself. My job is to be as over-leveled as I can be and make it as easy for you guys as possible. So that's why it's called a walkthrough. Here, Professor Oak is going to give us the Pokedex. That's basically like a Pokémon Encyclopedia. Our main objective for every single Pokemon game is to fill up the Pokedex with as many entries as possible. So I think in this game, well, I don't know what the national Pokédex, but the original Pokemon I think is 151, 150 or 151, I don't know. And here I'm just showing you guys that inside the Pokédex, once you've seen a Pokemon for the first time, you can see where it's located out in the world if you ever want to go back and catch it. Like I said, there are about 150, and more will unlock post-game through the national decks that we're going to unlock later. A lot of these Pokemon are not going to be available though. For example, there's only one starter in the whole entire game, so if you choose Charmander, you can't get a Bulbasaur or a Squirtle. You will also not be able to get any of the opposite game exclusives. Again, I'll compose a list in the description for everyone, but there are also certain Pokemon that will only evolve through trading to another real-life player in-game. So in the Pokemon Center, there's a section where you and your friend can go, which is upstairs, and you can trade Pokemon between your friends. You can't do it through random players online. It has to be locally, or you have to own another Nintendo Switch in order to trade. So again, certain Pokemon will only evolve through trade. Some of them do it naturally through trade, and some have to be holding a specific item. And then when they are traded, it will evolve. One example of this is Onix holding a metal coat. That will make it evolve into a Steelix when traded. I don't have an extra Switch lying around and would never waste my money and buy one for that reason. And I'm also a grown-ass man that just hit 30 with 2 kids, so I ain't got no friends that play this. For that reason, I literally cannot get every single Pokemon in the Pokedex, but I can get every Pokemon this game specifically has available. Also, I should note that this is a walkthrough for Leaf Green as well, even though I'm playing Fire Red. They are the exact same game, aside from each has its own exclusive Pokemon that are only available to that game alone. So I'll have a list of the exclusive Pokemon that Fire Red has, and then the exclusive Pokemon that Leaf Green has. And yeah, here I'm just showing you guys the town map that we got from Gary. He said, "Oh, I'm not telling my sister not to give you one," but she's so nice, she gives us one anyways. But I'm just showing you guys where we are. We went through Pallet and Viridian Forest, a ton above us already. That place in the top left is the Elite Four. That's the ultimate goal aside from filling our Pokedex. In order to get to the Elite Four, we have to grab all 8 badges, and then we will finally be able to walk through the Elite Four and head on over there. Our main goal right now is to go through Viridian City, then Viridian Forest, and then to Pewter City. That's going to be where our first badge is. And I'm just going to leave it like that for now. We'll go through our, the route after that a little bit later. I just don't want to confuse anybody. But yeah, onwards and forwards. Alright, so now that we're done running errands for Professor Oak, we can officially begin our Pokemon journey. He even gave us 5 Pokeballs, so the 2 Pokemon on this route were Rattata and Pidgey. I'm probably going to catch both of them. Yeah, I'm definitely going to catch both of them at some point. I don't know if I'm going to catch... Yeah, I just murdered this Rattata. But I think if it's like level 4 or 5, I think I'm going to actually just kill it just for the XP. If I happen to run into a lower level, or maybe if I just get lucky and I just weaken one good enough, I'll probably just catch it. Like this Pidgey I'll probably just catch right here because it's lower level. It's not going to amount to much XP. And honestly, if we find another Rattata, I'll probably just say screw it and catch it. Unless it's like level 4 or 5, like I said. But I even might just do it then too. But yeah, I think it's funny how you know, you can go back to your mom and say goodbye, or at least you think you would, but instead you just talk to her and she heals you. So whenever you need to get a rest, I mean, I don't know why you would travel all the way back home just to get a rest when there's Pokemon Center. So you really don't have any reason to go back to mom. But you're actually going to be able to say goodbye to her later once you get your first badge. She's going to be nearby and she's going to give you a present, so I'm going to say. So it's going to be something that's actually very, very helpful for us. It's actually kind of funny. You actually, in a lot of the Pokemon games, you actually run into your mother while you're traveling in like the weirdest, randomest places. It's like, Mom, what are you doing here? Of all the weirdest places. Like, I think in Pearl and Diamond, she's like in a random Pokemon contest. And you're like, what the heck? But yeah, right now, our goal is to go to Pewter City and get our first badge. But on the way, we're going to get a crap ton of training underneath our belt. Our main objective, though, and that's for anyone who's, not skipping any trainer fights or running away from battles. If you pick Charmander, your main goal is just to get your Charmander to level 13. The reason why is because your Charmander is going to learn a move called Metal Claw. And that's going to be super effective against Brock's Rock-type Pokemons. And they literally gave that to Charmander and Fire Red just for... just to help out for the first badge, because in the originals he didn't have Metal Claw, it wasn't a move yet. So I think, if I remember correctly, he learned Double Kick, and that helped out a little bit, but not as much as Metal Claw. So yeah, level 13 is where you are going to start shining, at least in the first gym, and then you're just going to have to have a bunch of prayers from Misty. Honestly. But yeah, I was kind of just walking back and forth in this area till I could finally catch both of these Pokemon on this route. And before we head to the Viridian Forest, since that way is open now, we're actually going to take a detour to the left, and I'm probably actually going to buy some Pokeballs and heal real quick. But we're actually going to head to the left-hand side. Now, there's going to be 2 new Pokemon over here in this patch of grass. And just past this patch of grass is actually going to be our second rival fight. So we're going to actually meet Gary or Blue again here, and we're actually going to fight him. But first I want to do a little bit of training, make sure we can actually kill both of his Pokemon with our Charmander. So probably just going to go back and forth until we catch or see both of these Pokemon that are over here. So probably going to be a lot of editing here because one of them is Spearow, and he's actually pretty rare here, so... Alright, so we found one of the 2 new Pokemon on this route. This one is Mankey. This is a fighting type. Even until its second evolution, it evolves at level 28 into a Primeape. And I usually like to name my Mankeys / Primapes Goku. Pun intended. Hype up Frieza emoji. But I see that this one is a female, so I don't think Goku or even Sun Wukong, which I also like to name him, works. So I think I'm gonna go with something different. Maybe like Rage. Maybe Fury. No, I got it. And this looks like it's gonna be a level up after this. I'm trying to find them. Like I said, this last one is pretty rare. And you can find all of these in another place, but the earliest we fill out our Pokedex is the better, because Professor Oak is gonna have his assistants at certain checkpoints in the game, and they're all going to check our Pokedex progress, and depending on our Pokedex progress, they're going to give us certain items and rewards. So the quickest we fill out our Pokedex, actually, the better. And yes, we found it. Alright, Spearow. Spearow is a flying type, evolves into Fearow at level 20, and is considered to be a lot better than Pidgey, all the way up to Pidgeot. because of its base stats and moveset. It's actually recommended to have at least one really good flying Pokemon on your team, because one of the Elite Four is actually going to be mostly fighting type, and flying type is heavily favored against them. So yeah, Pharaoh's a good choice. Farfetch'd is also going to be one of the good choices, specifically because once you get Farfetch'd, it's going to have a held item that actually increases its critical hit chance, and just that alone is actually pretty huge for Farfetch'd. So a lot of people actually go Farfetch'd, and is actually a huge underrated pick in Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green. One of the big flying ones, and yeah, I named this guy Pinocchio because obviously he's got a huge beak. That needs to be explained. I'm also going to go heal one more time before we challenge our rival. But another one, a huge pick for flying Pokemon is going to be Doduo, which transforms into Dodrio. I believe Dodrio and Fearow, they both learn Drill Peck, which is a really powerful flying type move that will literally carry you through that section of the Elite Four. But I believe also that, well, one good thing about us, having Charizard is that he's a flying type, and we can give him a couple moves. We can give him the Fly HM once we get it. We can get him, Aerial Ace. He learns Wing Attack. The only thing is that we have him as a special attacker, not a physical attacker, so that's going to hurt his, some of his flying moves. So just for that reason, I might want to think about getting another flying type, but not so sure about it just yet. I already have 5 out of my 6 Pokemon already planned out. I'm not entirely sure about the second one, or the 6th and last one. I'm probably just going to go impulsively and just pick one. It's also if I can find it too, that's all I'm going to say. If you guys can guess it, I'll let you guys know, whoever guesses it, but shout them out or whatever. But yeah, I'm basically just going to be spamming Ember the whole entire time. Since we have our special attack a little bit higher than our regular attack, it's not going to do much difference from doing Scratch and Ember, even on Squirtle, since the attack is not very effective. I'll show you guys right here. It's basically going to do the same amount of damage, you see. So the only thing is that Ember has a chance to burn, so I'm going to actually just keep spamming Ember at him. And I missed, dude. That one sand attack has been making my Charmander all drunk. But yeah, I need to actually probably heal after the next attack. Yeah, good thing you didn't get a critical, huh? Scary loves to crit you at the worst moments sometimes, I swear. But that's why we have 3 potions, so yeah. And we also have those other 4 backup party members just in case. I'm sure they won't all get one shot. They might do a little bit of damage. But no, I think we got this in the bag, and that should be a level 11, maybe 11 and a half. So we're already really close to... Actually, at this point, we might even become a Charmeleon before we even fight Brock, which is freaking insane, but yeah. That's victory number 2 against our rival. Level up, and he's going to give us some cash. Which we need because I just dropped 2k on 10 Pokeballs at the Pokemon Mart so that we can catch some things, but also consider you guys don't need to catch all these Pokemon and, waste all your money, or even fight all the trainer battles that I'm going to fight. But yeah, Blue here talked about being turned away at the Pokemon League gate. I might as well just show you guys where it's at, even though we can't, get through it until we have all 8 badges. But yeah, it's really big, nice, huge, enormous building, right? Really rude, I'm just going to call him a hall monitor. He ain't no cop, he's a rent-a-cop. But yeah, we're just going to go ahead and jump down all the way down here, kind of follow the I don't know, I'm just gonna call it the yellow brick road till we get all the way back up, and we can actually talk to that guy that was that wouldn't let us pass earlier, and he's actually going to give us a tutorial on how to catch Pokemon. And I'm actually probably gonna edit it out because we don't need to see it, or actually I'll probably just fast forward it for you guys. And he's actually gonna give us an item called TGTV, which is gonna, it's just like a tutorial thing. Alright, be honest, how lucky is Grandpa that he literally faced a full HP level 5 Weedle, had one last Pokeball, and managed to actually catch that thing, because that is lucky. That's Yu-Gi-Oh! Freaking Heart of the Card shit if I've ever seen it. But yeah, that's TGTV, just little tutorial crap, you don't need it. This is a gym right here, Viridian City Pokemon Gym. We need to get all 8, and I'm just going to tell you guys right now, this is going to be the 8th last and final gym, at least in chronological order. A little thing about this game is that you actually don't have to go in chronological order that all the gyms actually are. I believe once you get to Pewter City, you actually don't even have to fight Misty. You can actually just bypass her, get the cut HM, fight Lieutenant Surge, get your 3rd gym badge, and then from there you can go to any of them. Basically, it's pretty crazy. But we're just gonna go chronological as to not confuse anybody. So, all right, you guys. So I actually just healed up at the Pokemon Center right here before we head off. We're actually gonna go into Route 2 right here. There's actually going to be 2 new Pokemon that we can find here: a Caterpie and a Weedle. But their chances on this route specifically is actually really low. Like if I'll give it one opportunity here, it's probably not going to be them. Yeah, it's Pidgey, which we one-shot. So once we actually go in this building right here, this is Viridian Forest. These people don't have anything to say, so I'm just going to walk past them. This is the Viridian Forest where we can find Weedle and Kakuna, and Caterpie and Metapod, and also a very rare spawn is actually Pikachu, and he's actually located in this patch of grass specifically. You have a higher chance, I don't know why, but everyone has a higher chance to find him in this patch of grass right here. But he's actually a really rare spawn. So this is Weedle. He transforms into a Kakuna at level 7 and a Beedrill at level 10. Beedrill is a bug flying type. The other 2 are just bug. We actually caught him on the first try. But yeah, Weedle and Kakuna are just bug. Beedrill is the one that goes bug flying. I'm gonna name this guy Hornet. And now all we have to do now is, I don't know why I keep hitting this damn button, but all we gotta do now is find a Caterpie and a Pikachu. But don't forget to grab the antidote in the very beginning of the tree, because holy sh! We just found a Pikachu on our very 2nd attempt. That's crazy. Damn, this thing is really low level. I don't want to kill it in one shot. So close, dude. Alright, let's throw a Pokeball at this thing. Rare the Pokemon, the rare the catch rate, but I don't think it's going to take us all 10 Pokeballs to catch it. It's pretty weak too, so I think... Oh yeah, we got it. Oh, damn, it fooled me. And you're going to growl at me afterwards? Man, disrespectful little Pikachu. But yeah, everybody knows Pikachu. Pikachu, the face of Pokemon. Even if you don't or haven't played or watched Pokemon, surely you've walked in a Walmart or CVS or something, or just anywhere, and you've seen a Pikachu doll at some point in your life. So yeah, everyone kind of knows Pikachu. Pikachu is a Thunder Mouse type. Just a Thunder type. He is going to be named Zeus, God of Thunder. But yeah, Pikachu actually doesn't evolve with levels or experience. He actually evolves with a Thunderstone, which we will actually get once we get to around our 4th gym badge. So we won't be able to evolve Pikachu until we get to Celadon City, and we will probably evolve him at that point. But we will not be using Pikachu in our party. I might choose to level him up a little bit in order to get through Misty a little bit easier. I don't know, I have yet to decide. It kind of depends, I think, on Pikachu's nature too, if I'm going to use him or not, because I'm not going to go around looking for a good natured Pikachu. But yeah, I will be evolving him just for the Pokedex sake. But yep, everyone uses Pikachu on their team, and I don't want to do it. As cute as Pikachu is. But make no mistake, Pikachu is still a very good choice. He evolves into Raichu. They're both still Thunder. You definitely want a nature that raises special attack, because that Thunder ability is going to come in handy against many opponents. So yeah, I definitely recommend Pikachu. If Pikachu is a favorite, definitely go ahead and use him. And again, Pikachu evolves into Raichu through a Thunderstone, and not through level or experience or anything else, or friendship. Which there is a couple of Pokemon that actually do evolve through friendship. That's another thing that you can kind of evolve Pokemon through is through friendship. You gain friendship through a couple of things, mostly just battling with them, taking a lot of steps with them, making sure they don't faint and stuff like that. So if they faint in battle or you use like bitter medicine on them, they won't like it. I think the only one that I know off the top of my head in this game that evolves from friendship is Golbat into Crobat, but you actually can't evolve him. Like, the game literally won't let you evolve him into a Crobat until I think after you get through the islands and you get the national Pokédex. It's like the weirdest thing. And I know this is going to be a little weird to hear. It might be a Pokemon hot take, but poison types is actually one of my favorite types in the game. I think Sludge Bomb and a bunch of other things that, you know, that use poison are pretty cool. Like, I think Krogunk, what is that? I think that's in like Diamond and Pearl. Was one of my favorites. I don't know why, just because his eyes. I'm a huge anime fan, you guys, and I thought Krogunk looked like Sage Mode from Naruto, so I always called my Krogunk Naruto. So that's probably my favorite. I don't know, what even generation is that? Gen 4 Pokemon? And then Crobat. Crobat is just so freaking cool. I've always liked Crobat once I seen him in well, my favorite Gen 2, I think, is Crystal. Once I seen Crobat, I just thought he was so freaking cool, dude. Alright, so it looks like we just hit level 13. That means that we unlocked the move Metal Claw. That is a steel type move, which is super effective against rocks. That's going to basically carry us through Brock's whole entire gym. We're just basically going to be spamming that move. It's a move that does 50 power, 95 accuracy, and it may also raise the user's attack, which is very, very rare. That actually procs. I think it's like 5 or 10%, and it doesn't raise it a whole lot, but it's a little bit noticeable. And since I'm talking about Brock, I guess we can talk about how else we could defeat him, since we're not just quite there yet. Another two really good options to defeat Brock is Mankey and Butterfree. So Caterpie, actually, this little guy right here, actually evolves into a Metapod at level 7, and then evolves into a Butterfree at level 10. And Butterfree is actually a very, very, very good unit that could even be kept all the way until the end of the game, just because it can learn Psychic. And Psychic on a special attacking Butterfree will absolutely obliterate one of the Elite Four members, because he has fighting Pokemon, and Psychic is very, very super effective against fighting Pokemon. Not to mention it can also learn, you know, flying type moves and has status effects, so it's actually also a very, very good choice to put into your team. Also, it's Bug, so it actually levels up pretty quickly. And then Mankey is fighting type, and he can hurt Brock pretty bad with his rock types. So Low Kick, I think, is very effective against Onix, because it does damage the more heavier the opponent is. So yeah, Onix really gets destroyed by a low kick Mankey or a fighting Mankey. Just make sure it's a physical attacker and not a special attacker. And then even a Butterfree at level 10 will help you a lot, because it learns Confusion, which is a psychic move at level 10. And just that alone will help you a lot. Really, if you just kind of know, you know, what to build, you know, what your team lacks and what, you know, what your team needs and what you're going to go up against, you kind of just plan around it, and honestly, you should be fine for the whole entire game. Honestly, this game is not challenging, even as Charmander. Once you get past the first gym, it's actually fairly easy, except for Misty. You can grind levels, though, whenever you get stuck, so, I mean, it might be challenging, but it's not like you can't just grind through it. Honestly, you can beat this game with, like, a level 60 Rattata, a Butterfree, and a Snorlax. So, I mean, always just have fun, play, and, you know, play how you desire, however you prefer to play the game, and just have no regrets. I would recommend, though, if you are on Leaf Green, prioritize getting Starmie and not going Squirtle. I mean, you can go Squirtle and Starmie, and you'll have a way easier time of completing the game, but Starmie is easily the most broken mon in the whole entire game. Starmie with Modest or Timid Nature for special attack boost. It can learn Thunder moves as well, so like it can learn Psychic, Thunder, Ice Beam, you know, Surf, easily making it able to basically one-shot 3 out of the 4 Elite Four members. It's insane. And you can also teach a Hydro Pump. I mean, the thing is literally the most OP. I mean, I know it's Starmie, right? It's a freaking starfish. But yeah, it's literally the most OP Pokemon in the whole entire game. It's literally #1. Absolutely busted Starmie is. But do not forget to just click A on this hidden patch of grass right here, right in front of this trainer, all the way on the left, because there is a hidden item, a hidden potion right here. Alright, so this is the last trainer in Viridian Forest. He only has a level 9 Weedle, I think. Yeah, can you believe that we went through the whole forest? We found a freaking Pikachu, a rare spawn on our second try, but we have not found a damn Caterpie. I might have to come back and try and catch one. So there'll probably be an edit at some point when of course we get into a fight right on the last couple steps out of the Viridian Forest. But yeah, there's going to be a couple NPCs in this building. Right past it, it's going to be Pewter City. No one has anything good to say, so you can just bypass them. We're going to come across Route 2. This was the same route as Route 2 that we hit right before we hit the Viridian Forest. It has the exact same Pokemon, so no need to go looking. We're going to go in here and heal. And then I'm actually going to go take you guys to a hidden item real quick. It's just a potion in the top left part of Pewter City. That tree right there at the top right, I don't know if you guys seen it. We cannot get into that building until we know the HM cut. Then we're going to be able to cut down trees like that, and then we can get into that building, and that's going to have another item that we want in it. And then that down there is the Pokemon Gym. I'm going to be challenging Brock here in a second, but I'm going to go try to find me a damn Caterpie. Just to kind of show you guys real quick, I'm going to go ahead and throw Pikachu out here. One thing I want to show you guys is how to switch train. So I just kind of want to knock this guy out and show you guys my XP, and I'm going to go get into another fight and show you guys how switch training works. One thing also too, since we talked about poison, is for some reason in this early generation of Pokemon games, poison moves tend to poison you almost every single time, and then when you use poison moves, it almost never hits. I don't know what the deal with that is. I've heard and seen so many YouTubers, it's like almost 100% chance. It's crazy what they did. It's crazy. Almost every single time you get hit with a poison move, you're gonna get poisoned. I don't know what it is. I don't know, guys. I don't know. But yeah, so this is how you switch train. We're gonna throw Zeus out, and we're gonna switch Pokemon. We're gonna switch the Scorch here. Hopefully one shot Weedle and not get poisoned. So as you guys can see, we switched to our Charmander, and Zeus still got some XP. We literally split it down the middle. Zeus got 18, Pikachu got 18, Charmander got 18. So that's how to switch train. I'm gonna edit you guys till we find a damn Caterpie. I found one. It took me so long, but I found one. I'm gonna nickname him. Her. Sorry, I'm gonna nickname her. Alright, you guys, now that we are done capturing all the Pokemon and training and whatnot, let's go ahead in here and take on our first gym. This is going to be Brock's gym. He is Rock/Ground type. This guy is the aide. He usually gives us information on how to best take on the gym. Here it says who has already won, and of course Blue and Gary has already stomped through this gym. He's always way ahead of us, man. You're 10,000 light years from facing Brock. Actually, he looks 3 steps in front of me. This guy is going to have 2 new Pokemon. He's going to have a Geodude. Geodude is a Rock/Ground type that actually evolves twice. He evolves into Graveler at level 25, and then he evolves into Golem when traded. Golem is actually a really good Pokemon. Well, actually all the trade Pokemon are, but Golem has a couple of good moves that he knows. Really good defensive Pokemon as well. One of the Pokemon that I'm not going to be able to get because I can't do any trading. But if you guys are lucky enough to have some friends or another Switch handy, then definitely go ahead and maybe give yourself a Golem. But yeah, we actually got really lucky and actually raised our attack on our very first Metal Claw. But I'll bet you we're not going to see that again for some time. And it looks like we're actually going to get an evolution after this fight for our Charmander. He's going to evolve into a Charmeleon. But Sandshrew is actually a ground type Pokemon, and he actually evolves at level 22 into Sandslash. And Sandslash is actually one of my favorite Pokemon from the Gold and Crystal and Silver games. I usually always had a Sandslash on my team whenever I played those games. I don't know why, I liked Sandslash, and I like Dodrio in those games for some reason. Sandshrew and Sandslash in this case is only exclusive to the Pokemon Leaf Green game. We cannot find one in Pokemon Fire Red. We hit level 16, and we get to see our Charmander evolve. And once we get an evolution, our stats are going to grow too, just a little bit. So we're going to be hitting just a little bit harder. You're pretty hot, but not as hot as Brock. Ayo. Go into my bag here, make sure we pop a potion on our new Charmeleon, make sure he's in tip-top shape. Alright Brock, what you got to say to us? I'm Pewter's gym leader, no, my rock hard willpower. Ayo. Alright. My Pokemon are all rock. Alright, hey, cut the music, cut the music. Brock, are you kidding me? What are you saying, homie? What are you saying? All right, let's get this fight over with. Hey, wait, hold up. Bring that beat back. Okay, Brock. Okay, Brock. All right. Enough of that. But come on now, you can't lie. That instrumental, that gym, what is that, the gym battle theme? I don't even know. That shit was going hard as hell. Come on, you can't lie. All right, so here we have Onix. Only evolves into a Steelix when traded, holding the specific item Metal Coat. We kind of went over this, but I didn't, show you guys what Steelix looks like. So here we go, Steelix. Also one of my favorite Pokemon from the Gold and Silver Gen 2 era, which, you couldn't really get it unless you traded through Game Boys and stuff back then, which I did. I had friends back then, I had friends when I was a kid at least, played Pokemon. A lot harder to find, an adult that plays it now, but hey. I'm sure I could, join a Discord or something, But, yeah, let's go ahead and just spam Metal Claw at this guy. It's gonna be really rare if this guy hits you with 3 Rock Tombs back to back. Should be the only way he kills you, but it's been known to happen. You also have potions just in case, though. I do not mean to keep hitting that. Yeah, I also forgot to show you guys Charmeleon stats, which I did a little while ago at the beginning of this fight, so you guys can kind of see the stat boost that I got. Not a whole, huge stat boost, but enough to do, a little bit more damage to Onix here. Notice how we have not gotten another critical hit or raise of the attack stat since that one time. But looks like we're actually going to hit level 17 when we beat Onix here, which we just did. I need to stop hitting that button, dude. It's so easy to bring up, too, with this controller. Oh, it's so sensitive, too. Nice. But yeah, at least with our new transformation, our special attack is a little bit higher than our regular physical attack now. But yeah, every badge that we get is actually going to give us a little boost to our stats. I think every second, 4th, 6th, and 8th badge is actually going to raise the trade level. Because every time you get a Pokemon from trade, it has actually a chance to disobey you if it's over leveled. So every 2, 4, 6, and 8th badge is actually going to raise the level that you can get through trade without your Pokemon disobeying you. And he's going to give us the TM Rock Tomb, which I'm not going to teach anybody right now. But yeah, this guy is proud of us, and now our name is up here. Blue and Red are the winning trainers of this gym. Some random person's going to come through here like, why is there a bunch of colors beating up Brock? And then little Yellow from the manga is going to come over here and beat him next. It's going to be Blue, Red, and Yellow. That'd be freaking awesome, actually. Yellow's so cool. with their busted ass team. But yeah, we can come over here, talk to... I actually thought this was gonna be our mom. Correct me if I'm wrong, but our mom does, in one of the games, right, actually gives us the running shoes? Or is it always a professor aid? I can't remember. I always thought it was our mom that's over here and gives us... So we actually never say goodbye to our mom. That's crazy. Oh, there's a letter attached from our mom. Here's a pair of running shoes from my beloved challenger. Don't ever give up. Rooting for you, Mom. Look at me, I'm fast as fuck now, boy! Hell yeah! Let me run my happy ass over here and heal my Pokemon. Yeah! Run like the wind, bullseye! Alright, you guys. I'm actually going to end the first episode here. We got our first badge. We covered a lot, I feel like. Yeah, I'm really excited to keep playing this, especially for the channel, because I played this game a lot, but I've always wanted to do a Pokemon game for the channel. Now I finally get to. So hopefully you guys are enjoying it. Just gonna show you guys real quick on the town map here where we're gonna go through. We're gonna go through Mount Moon here on this right side, a couple of routes, and we're gonna end up at Viridian City. That's where Misty is. That's badge number 2. She's gonna be a water gym, so you guys can prepare ahead of time if you guys want to build up your Pikachu along the way. That might help a little bit as well. Charmander at this point is going to be pretty useless. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm having a ton of fun. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this too. But yeah, have a successful week or weekend, all my successful gamers, and I'll see you all in the next one.